The Duskbane Estate Library was a cathedral of secrets. Towering shelves climbed toward vaulted ceilings, their spines glowing faintly gold in the lamplight. A fire smoldered low in the hearth, throwing restless shadows across marble floors. Outside, the night pressed heavy and silent against the windows, the storm waiting to break. Inside, the storm had already begun. "You're insufferable," Seraphina hissed, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. Lucien Vale stood before the fire, one hand braced against the mantel, as though he owned the place. The flames painted his sharp jaw in amber and shadow, his gray eyes alive with mockery. He looked too comfortable in her home, too amused, and that made her blood boil. "Insufferable," he drawled, not bothering to turn. "That's such a lazy insult for someone as clever as you. I expected something with more bite." Her hands tightened at her sides. "You break into my estate, sit in my library as if you belong here, and now you demand wit." Lucien finally turned, his grin slow, infuriating. "I didn't break in. Your guards let me through. Money can be so persuasive, you bastard," he shrugged, unbothered. "So I've been told. Repeatedly. By more imaginative women than you." The firelight flickered. Her fury rose like the tide. "Why are you here, Vale?" He took a measured step closer, the click of his boots echoing softly against the stone floor. "Because you haven't given me an answer." "To what?" His smirk deepened. "To my proposal. Alliance. Partnership. Survival. Call it what you will. I told you already. I don't make deals with snakes." Lucien's gaze sharpened, the grin fading into something more dangerous. "And yet, you haven't said no." "Not really." The air thickened. Every inch of space between them seemed to crackle with something volatile, something neither of them wanted to name. Seraphina forced herself to hold her ground, though her pulse betrayed her. "You mistake hesitation for weakness." "No." He stepped closer, close enough now that she could see the faint scar cutting across his cheekbone, the shadow of stubble on his jaw. His voice dropped, low and deliberate. "I mistake hesitation for curiosity. And curiosity, my lady, is far deadlier." Her lips parted to deliver a retort, but nothing came. The truth was, he was right, damn him. He was always right. His games infuriated her, but his presence was impossible to ignore. So she did the only thing she could do. She lashed out. "You think you're clever, don't you?" she spat, stepping into his space until their faces were inches apart. "Always 3 steps ahead. Always smirking like the world bends to your will." Lucien's gray eyes gleamed, sharp as steel. He didn't back away. Instead, he caught her wrist, his grip firm but not cruel, pulling her closer until she could feel the heat of his body, the steadiness of his breath. "Clever enough," he murmured, his voice husky, "to make you furious." Her breath caught. The fire roared louder, as though echoing the tension crackling between them. "And clever enough," he continued, softer now, his gaze burning into hers, "to know you like it." Her heart slammed against her ribs. Her lips trembled not with fear, but with rage, with hunger, with something she refused to name. For one dizzying heartbeat, the world tilted, and she could almost feel his mouth against hers, could almost taste the danger he carried like perfume. But Seraphina Duskbane was no woman's fool, not even her own. She tore her wrist from his grip and shoved him hard against the shelves. Books rattled, one falling to the floor with a heavy thud. "Don't presume to know me," she snarled, her voice trembling with restrained fury. "I am not like the women who fawn over you. I am not so easily undone." Lucien's back hit the mahogany, but he didn't falter, didn't even blink. His grin returned, sharper now, carved with something more dangerous than amusement. "Undone," he echoed, his voice low, rich, infuriating. "Seraphina, I don't want to undo you. I want to unravel you." Her breath stuttered. For a moment, she hated him more than she'd hated anyone in her life. And for a moment, she wanted him more than she'd wanted anything. She turned away, her cloak swirling like fire as she strode toward the door. "This conversation is over," she snapped, though her voice betrayed a crack she despised. Behind her, Lucien called softly, his tone equal parts warning and promise. "You can push me away all you like, Seraphina. But one day, you'll stop pretending you don't feel it." She didn't look back. She couldn't. Because if she did, she knew she might never look away again. The storm outside finally broke, thunder crashing against the windows as rain slashed the glass. But inside the library, the greater storm raged silently between fire and ice, hate and hunger. And both of them knew this was only the beginning.